Remember, you are given as your richest birthright the privilege of controlling your own thoughts. Therefore, treat this divine gift with the profound respect to which it is entitled, and do not allow anyone to do your thinking for you, or to influence your thinking in any manner whatsoever, except by the rules of accurate thinking I am passing on to you. Follow this procedure regardless of what people think or say about your method of thinking. If they wish to call you a cynic or a doubting Thomas, let that be their misfortune. But for your own good, go right on thinking by rules which will save you from many mistakes and tragedies throughout your life.
The drifters and no drifters. I want to apologize in this right moment. I had my tone out, my microphone was out, and yeah, it's like that. I cannot make time turn back, but I can go and keep going with the highest intention. Today's episode, as I was telling before, it's about budgeting time and money. This principle will awaken really great power within you. And I am about to define by Napoleon Hill what this means. And then we break down this definition because I want that you gain really clarity about this principle. And so Napoleon Hill really taught us that people are divided in two classes, drifters and no drifters. A no drifter is really a person who has a definite major purpose, a definite plan to attain that purpose, and is actively engaged in carrying out his plan. A drifter does no real thinking. Yes, a drifter does no real thinking. He acts upon the thinking of others. This is the difference between both. Yes. A drifter don't think for himself. He really acts upon what others may consider about life, because they don't have their own opinion. They need that clarity, that high value of others, and of course, because they don't have a direction, they really after what other people may think about the next decision, the next step to be made in life. So successful people always ask themselves the following question: how are you using your time? How much of it are you wasting? How are you wasting it? What are you doing to stop this waste? This is really amazing questions in which I always using for myself, and I would suggest, of course, that you use these questions and really grow with it. Yes. And so I would love to go a bit more in the depth of this definition. And let's start when Napoleon Hill says a no drifter is a person who has a definite major purpose, a definite plan to attain that purpose, and is actively engaged in carrying out his plan. So this is actually, if you didn't notice, really a formula of freedom. Yes. He says here that really when you want to have that, to be free, to live on purpose, it's really you having that definite major purpose. With that, you have a direction, you have a clarity on your life, you have a vision, you have a mission, you have a calling. And then you have that definite plan, you have an organized plan, which you will develop 5% that strategy and structure to get there through that plan, through that organized plan. And you will activate that engagement, because you start to take consistent, committed actions. And so when you don't have this tree, which is a formula, I say again, definite measure of purpose, it means you have a clarity in your life, then you have a definite plan, and then you are being really much engaged in taking consistent and committed action. In other words, you are accountable to yourself. Yes? So this is where you gain that transit from drifter to no drifter. So powerful. And this is when confusion, doubt, and worry, yes, when you don't have a major purpose, when you don't have a definiteness of purpose, when you don't have a definite plan, and you are active taking steps towards it, without these three, you really risking to drift. And with that, confusion, doubt, worry enter in your energy, and you will experience this in your life. So a drifter does no real thinking. He acts upon the thinking of others. This is so that it's so crucial when you understand this. Drifters don't think for themselves. They really react and follow trends. They are very much controlled by fear, or they seek really that comfort. And they are confused between comfort and really security. Yes? They often let society, media, social media, family, or peer pressure make decisions for them. They outsource their power unknowingly. In other words, this is really what happens to a lot of people, the major people, when you don't have a direction, when you don't have a definiteness of purpose, when you don't have a goal, to remain in that let's say, to remain in that moment of unclarity, because when you are not clear, confusion really, it comes to you very easy. So that you allow others really to gain control of your life, although maybe you are not being aware. Yes, but it's really very much crucial that we differentiate between a no drifter and a drifter. Yes? So it's through thinking, what means through thinking is you investigating your beliefs, your true identity, and your patterns. This is when you start really to think about yourself. Through thinking and self-inquiry, follow a clear decision, you see. And of course, you will align action. And with that, understand, transformation becomes inevitable. So this is the core of self-reflection practice of no drifter. Is you start really to investigate, to become aware of your beliefs, of who you are, and what kind of habits, what kind of thought patterns are constantly occupying your heart, your mind. And Hill is pointing out that awareness of time is, in other words, awareness of purpose. When he says, tell me how you use your spare time and how you spend your money, and I will tell you where and what you will be 10 years from now, this is really powerful truth about habits and destiny. You see? So, spare time reveals really your true priorities. So, are you learning? Are you growing? Are you creating? Or are you scrolling endlessly? How are you spending your time? Become aware of it. And spending patterns is really reflecting the value, the values in you about who you are, yes, what is important for you, and your mindset. It means self-reflection about mental patterns, which is holding you back in a certain cycle. And so you need to become aware so that you can break through. So, do you invest in growth, or are you escape into consumption? You see, your daily choice is really shaping your identity. And for that, you must really become aware of it. It's powerful when we become aware, am I a drifter or am I a non-drifter? It means, do I have a clear image of my life, of who I am? Or I'm being guided and eventually manipulated unconsciously from the opinions of others. So this is very much key for major transformation. So you see, this principle is very profound when we go in the depth by studying, and of course, when we apply it. This is where really where power lies, yes, by implementation. It's not just about knowing, it's about how can you use these today in your life. And that's why I'm always very much repeating myself in watching the replays, have a great book, where you can always create that moment for you to study and really go in the depth of the words and sense the meaning that is want to give to you, so that when you connect the dots, when you start to connect the information in the depth, you really have that activation within. This is where these principles really are now awakening something that was already within you, but now you are very much aware in knowing how to translate. Yes, when you follow, of course, the order and structure. And this principle, it really speaks really to the essence of the higher conscious awareness of our being. And I begin to observe myself, and I suggest you begin to observe yourself. Not to observe outside, first go within and start to observe yourself. And you will understand then how to shift. When you start to understand how you use your time and how much you are wasting your time, and how are you wasting it, and what are you doing to stop this waste, things start to shift. So use these questions, yes, of awareness. This brings awareness. So it's not about controlling every minute. It's about giving priority what matters to you. So I became aware with this principle, actually with all the principles that I already talked here on this consciousness leadership series. I just not just became aware of my thoughts, but also of my actions and how I was directing my life energy, from which kind of state of mind and being I was operating. I need to recognize that. And of course, then to shift that energy, I needed a direction, I needed a vision, and to understand why of all the meaning behind my actions, so that I could really shift from drifter to no drifter. So when we truly understand this, we realize that life is not happening to us, but we are creating it moment by moment, day after day. And so to budget time is really to live in alignment. To budget money is to live in responsibility. And they are both forms of self-respect and vision embodiment, expression. So the future belongs to those who create structure, who are courageous, who create structure through inner clarity. You need that inner clarity. I needed that clarity so that I can transit from drifter to no drifter, to have control over my own life. And the law of cause and effect is always working. You see, precision with precision and not by chance. Manifestation is through precision and not by chance. So we will stop to react to circumstances when we understand this, and we begin really to create from within. But only when we are really aware, we can break that cycle. That's why study, that's why being in a very elevated community is so important, to be surrounded with higher personalities of mind and being so important. People that are very much in that state of excellence. And excellence is something great, is what we are, and we are striving to be. Yes, to be excellent each and every day, and always to show up, and always to be in that willing to learn. And even when things really don't work out at the first or at the third or at the fourth or at the 10th, it doesn't matter. Is we being always curious in how can we be and do better. I think this is true life. It's in my perspective. You see, it's really being open to and be flexible and to adapt in and responding to life. Yes. So this is really for me very much key, and I wanted to share this with you. So let's go a bit deeper in a drifter, the difference between create versus react. Yes. So you see, a drifter really reacts to life. A non-drifter creates. You see the difference? A drifter, because there's no clarity, there is confusion, there is fear and doubt, because it's something new that really wants to come through. People, they sense there's something to be changed, but they don't know that what must be changed really is, it really starts from within. And so when you don't have that clarity in spirit and mind, in intellectually and emotionally, so we start to react to situations. And a no drifter, they don't react, they respond, because they are clear, they're very much clear, they have structure, they have a plan, they have a strategy. And so a no drifter creates. And while the drifter follows that circumstances, the no drifter shapes them. And how? By using the imagination, structure, and purpose to build a life with intention. There is intention that ignites action, that ignites our being. And so another point, of course, is the habits and discipline. Observe what doesn't serve you. Notice what holds you back. Thoughts, what kind of routines, or how are your reaction to life? How is your reaction to life? And then we must also learn to let it go. Release really what no longer supports who you are becoming. And start to choose habits that really match your vision. Stay mindful and, of course, consistent is key. Time, priority, and focus is not about having more time. It's about what you give your attention to. Time is really an illusion. I realize that, I really realize that when you start to focus on things that matters, when you start to recognize what is for you important, what is not so important, when you start to put distractions to the side using your focus, you be amazed what you really can be and do in 8 hours. Yes? What you can create in one day. How many steps you really are already deliberately manifesting, each and every day. That's why it's so important, clarity and prioritizing and focus. So where are you giving your attention? This is important that you are very much aware of it. And then you ask yourself, Does this deserve my energy? This situation, this person? You see, shift really your mindset. Refocus your attention. Align with what truly matters. Unapology, without any apology. You have to be loyal to yourself. It's really important that we remain loyal to who we are and what we're supposed to be doing. Because you ask, you have an answer. You ask, you receive a vision. Maybe the belief is still not that strong, but you remain focused. You prioritize time and money. You have that structure and organized action. Yes. When you bring structure into your daily life, you're not just creating a plan. You're doing much more than that. You are building a rhythm that is fueling momentum. You're creating momentum. And structure is how vision really becomes action. Yes, that's why just to visualize, to have a vision, a direction, to understand your purpose, it's not enough. We need to put it in an organized plan with structure. And then take that first step. Regardless, you don't need to know every step. You just need to know 1, 2 steps each and every day. Each and every day. And without it, you are often pulled in every direction. Yes. Without you are pulled in every direction. Without that structure and organized action, you pull from everywhere, from the opinion of other people's, from what is in your bank account, your age, you're too young, you're too old. Yes. You very much holding in situations that actually don't have any power over you as long as you don't know better. But when you elevate that conscious awareness and you very much knowing a direction, you having a purpose, you have that structure, that organized action, you are unstoppable. When you don't have all this structure and organized action, you start to become scattered, reactive, and drained. And this is where mental noise creeps in. You see, that mental noise is that overthinking, that constant worrying, that unfinished task, something that you always start, but you don't go to the end. You start to be distracted. And that brings really, or it departs you from being clear. But when you organize your time, your space, your thoughts, you begin to clear the mental noise. You reclaim really your energy, your focus, and of course, your direction. So understand this. Order invites clarity. And it's not about being rigid. It's about creating space for what truly matters. You need to learn to discern. And what about consistency? That's where transformation really begins. It's not by 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. It's really being you, expressing you. Is really being in alignment even when the emotion don't match. You take always, you organize your plan always in alignment with what matters, in how you're investing your energy, in where you're putting your focus, and of course to hold that accountability in to take always in direction to your vision, purpose, and with intention, with that growth mindset, with that prosperous mindset, always the next step. My internet is really at somehow weak. Everything is just fine. We keep going. So when you are really aligned with small action, it doesn't matter if it's small or big. This is very much relative. Thing is important that you always give a step, that you always express yourself, that you always embody the person, that higher, better, greater person through an organized plan. Because now you have clarity, now you have a direction, you have clarity for the day. Yes, even if your vision is still not 100% clear, for today you are clear. You can start. And this, when you do each and every day, this will lead to lasting results. So if you are ready to rise, don't just set goals, don't just have that vision, don't just visualize, don't just do that auto-suggestion and affirmations. You start to create structure. Create an organized plan. Ask for guidance. Make questions. Quiet the noise of your mind by bringing always focus to what it matters and what is in alignment with your vision. Because your vision carries a purpose. And you will know it. Yes? So this is how the visionary version of you starts to take form. Starts to take that shape. There is a line, of course, with the decision at a time. Each and every day you will make a decision which brings really energy in movement, and this is what is really creating. This is what you are being led to be and do, and you keep being loyal to that organized plan that you were called to put it in the paper, and you follow one step after the one without any pressure. Just see what you can do for this day and where and how you are giving really attention, and who are you giving attention, and to what are you giving attention, and make things possible by really free yourself from emotional blockages of thought patterns in which you have to be very much aware of. And then by persistence and consistency, you always become greater, better. Yes. it's really phenomenal. Manifestation is not just about desire. This has to do with precision. It has to do with alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, decisions, and actions are aligned with your vision, you become a clear channel for what you are calling in. Alignment activates manifestation. And it's not by force, you see. It's not by you fighting, but by frequency. It's you being and matching the frequency of what is true, of what is about what is you asking to be and to have in your life. It's you matching that frequency in alignment. And often what feels like a delay is not a delay, it's not a denial, it's a sign of disalignment or misalignment. It's a gap between what you want and how you are being. And the results comes when you or when your inner state matches the reality you are asking for. Not before and not after, you see? It's when your energy is really in sync with the outcome. So this is not just done when you wish for. It's done when you match the frequency of it. And that is the precision. And that's power. And that is alignment in motion. So this is so amazing. It's not a question of fighting. And this is not a question of you not being ready. You are ready. You are ready. It's just a decision. It's just clarity. It's just you stop giving attention to what don't matters and start to pay attention, focus in what matters. And what matters is within you, is you making that self-reflection, reevaluating who you are and your life and where you're at and where you want to be. And this is the law of precision. Is you being in sync. I mean, this is amazing, beautiful. And I think each and every one of us are very much already in the process, but really the fulfillment is and really the liberal manifestation is when we are in that higher awareness of all these questions that goes higher than whatever you may believe you are and you can attain so far, and really go into that imagination. These principles are here to help you to gain clarity about what is possible, and everything is possible. With structure and order, everything is possible. So I really have lived that contrast. I know better today, but for that I need a certain preparation. And now I'm really knowing what is the difference between not just in the theory about being a drifter and really living, being the messenger of a vision that carries a very higher purpose, and living in intention each and every day, and being loyal to me and regardless, and always being very happy to show up and improve each and every day, and being willing really to serve always higher. Yes. So there was time where I didn't thought I was wasting time. I really was out of alignment, and it was not so long time ago. Yes, for maybe 4 years ago. Yes, I was really drifting, unknowing, living through through inherited patterns, limitations, and beliefs. I was not living my truth. I was drifted. I was drifting. I was living from the outside. Yes. My environment, the people surrounded me, everything was really shaping me. I was giving power to outside sources. And this happened just because I had no direction. I was not aware of my definiteness of purpose. And of course, this vision is already inside, it was all the time inside of me and was moving me. It was moving me because this is a plan that was given to us. Yes, I believe in that. But of course, because I was not aware, I had to fight very much to be effortlessly me. And by higher conscious awareness, now it's easier. It turns to be really a fulfillment, to be me, to have a clear vision, to embody it, to be the messenger, to serve my community, the world, to present here these principles to you for the first time. But I have the feeling like I already have made this 100, 200 times. Yes. So it's really powerful when we gain clarity. And in that time, I really was not aware, so I had no direction. I was very much living from the outside situations, environment, people, and so I was having very much life experience that really were preparing me for this moment, and that's why I'm so grateful. But I can now see the difference between drifter and no drifter. This is like day and night. It's of course a choice, a moment of decision, and this moment of decision I gained 3 years ago. I was not connected to my vision, to that higher I that lives in purpose. But through deep questioning, through pain and transformation, I awaken. So if you are, I don't know where you are in your awareness, what kind of experience are you being having in this precise moment? But this is always a shift. It's always lessons. It's always you start to change that way of thinking from victim, or let's put in another word, that thinking that everything is really bad and everything is happening against me, is everything against me, to okay, what is that really life wants to show me? What is that I really have to change? Which direction do I want to give to my life? And for that transformation to shift has to happen first from within, from a clarity of how you want to see your life, how you want to develop your business, how you want to, what is the purpose of your product? Yes. So I started really to choose my time. I guarded my energy. I only invest where it serves my mission. Yes. Because now I know direction gives life power. Intention gives time meaning. Yes. This was what I learned. What I learned through this principle when I started really to not just study but implementing it each and every day since I became aware of this information, but also aware of my gifts and talents, also aware of my mental faculties, also aware that I am representing something greater. Yes. And so I would love to give you, of course, some tools for you to apply each and every day. So I would love that you really create and prioritize each and every day. Make a morning, create a morning routine. Start each day by identifying, for example, 3 soul ideas aligned that are very much having the priority about who you are and where you want to go. Yes. Start each day by identifying your top 3 soul aligned priorities. So does this, you can ask to yourself, does this moves me towards my vision? How are you spending your energy daily? Start to, each and every day, create that moment for yourself and evaluate. At the end of each day, you start really to review. What did I give my time and energy to? This you can do at the end of the day, you see. And it's okay if you are not in alignment. Important is that you become aware, and then you reframe, you adapt, or you reframe. You start really to understand what is that you can be and do better, and then you take action in that alignment. So simple as that. What is worthy for you and how can you shift? So look at your spending this week. Every money that you spend, ask yourself, is it aligned with your future self? Let reframe this question. What, or was it reactive or intentional? When you are buying something, yes, be very much aware, what are you buying and why are you buying? Is this just a habit? Is that intentional? You see? Is that in alignment with your future self? So replace time wasting habits with sacred time for growth, learning, and resting. Yes. be in that harmony, be in balance. And this is, of course, a process, but each and every day there's the opportunity for us to implement it. Yes? So use mindfulness to reframe distractions into focused action. Really, I started to invest in myself. I spent time for self-reflection so that I could gain that clarity about my life and purpose. Self-care. Are you investing in yourself? So I would love to give you really a question to reflect. Ask to yourself, if my time and money reflected my deepest purpose, what would change today? In other words, what would I do differently today? So when you gain that clarity through the question, you will gain a clarity. What would be different today? So when you know that, you start really to translate, to express it each and every day, that difference. I would love that you journal this and let the truth rise, because you really matter, and you can gain so much clarity when you make questions and you allow it to rise. You don't have to force it. Yes? So when you really open and receptive and ready to take this deeper, to take deeper into real alignment, to embodiment, into your personal transformation, I invite you to explore my offering services. Whether it's elite mentorship experience, personal coaching, or holistic healing, to transformational guidance, there is something, I assure you, that is designed to meet you where you are. And I guarantee, of course, only by commitment decision, that you will elevate your higher consciousness, and you will really embody that vision, that you will embody that call. You can begin, of course, with a guidance call. So you may want to book a call where we are going to explore your current state, your vision, and the next aligned steps on your journey. But for that, we need, of course, to have a conversation. And if you really feel resonance and a call to go deeper into these principles, which are the principles of success by Napoleon Hill, which are here really truly to activate your higher blueprint, then of course I also welcome you to an exclusive inner circle through the Midtime Lecture, which is a weekly study time with, of course, not just study, but implementation with support and accountability, which is so important. Yes. And so high is this service. And when you, of course, ready to master your gifts, to shift your paradigm and rise in consciousness, leadership, and impact, here is your call to take action. So the link will be in the video description below. Book a call. It's free, 30 minutes. And I know that this is the right moment when you feel resonance. If you really want to go to that higher conscious awareness of a new perception of who you truly are, you need to go through that process. And it's your birthright to know, understand, and when you start to apply with guidance in a mentorship or as one-on-one coaching, or even you coming here is already a great begin of something greater. So I just can tell you to keep coming and see, of course, the replays. And before we really prepare to landing this episode, I want to invite you to reflect. Where is your time truly going? Which habits are you shaping? Shaping you, shaping your future? Who are you becoming with the choices you are making today? And most importantly, of course, the decisions. The decisions that you are making today, are they aligned with your vision? If not, you can realign. You gain each and every day the possibility to start new. So it is okay, just realize it and then adapt. Be flexible, reframe, and understand that it's always a process of growth, of you being greater. And high awareness is really transformation. High awareness is transformation, is when transformation is done. And without this awareness, you are not moving progressive into something greater. You are very much being closed in a, or a hold in a cycle. Yes, which is also okay, but you are here for something purposeful in this lifetime. So here is the possibility for you to start something greater, something new. And I am here, of course, to guide you, to support you in each and every moment. It's just a decision you have to make. And I am here for you. Understand you are the architect of your life, and your choices, the choices that you are making today, aware in higher awareness, they are powerful. Yes. And your vision is real, is here, is real. It's just waiting for you to match its frequency. So next week I will be again at 3 p.m. Tuesday. I'm very happy when we see us again here on this community. I will be at 3 p.m. Central Europe time. I'm enjoying so much to be here with you. When you have any questions, you can write in the comments session. And of course, I will be very honored to answer you. Until next Tuesday, I hope you gain more clarity about your purpose, about your vision, and keep revisiting all these lives. I release every life in form of replay. So here is really true riches. I know that you will recognize when you are ready to recognize it. So thank you so much for being part of this community and to also join me in this moment of clarity and truth. Thank you so much. I see you next Tuesday. Until then, stay blessed.